Only a few days ago, the U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo stated that the killing of Soleimani was to protect Americans from planned attacks against the United States by Iran. This, of course, is a laughable accusation. Soleimani was working on ending terrorism, and there's not a single shred of evidence whatsoever that would confirm this idea that somehow he was plotting against the U.S. While Mike Pompeo said this was part of a larger strategy which also involved China and Russia. It's called the real deterrence strategy. They said this idea of assassinating foreign generals to protect America also applied to Russia and China. Now think about what he just said. He just said the United States was considering the option of assassinating the generals or high ranking government officials of foreign countries. He just announced to America's competitors in the world, China and Russia, that the United States will be seeking to assassinate their leaders. I mean, this is illegal. If this isn't basically threatening someone with war or threatening what is an act of war, I don't know what is. But this shows a very serious, if this is a full-on policy by the Trump administration, this certainly demonstrates a very serious change in U.S. foreign policy. Before, there's always been a general policy of undermining foreign governments, influencing them, funneling money into anti-establishment organizations. But outright saying that assassinating their leaders, civilian and military leaders, is on the table, that's making a very serious claim. Those are an act of war. So I think this says something that the U.S. is starting to take a much more aggressive stance if this is something that is going to be carried on as a full part of U.S. foreign policy strategy. Now, they may back down on this a little later, or they may change their minds or then never bring it up again. But this is a very serious threat that has been made against Russia and China, and one that would demand retaliation just as it was done to Iran. We could be looking at scarier times now as a result of this. There's a lot of ideas that are going around on why the United States may be choosing to do this at this time. Maybe since they have already done it to Soleimani, and that was clearly a mistake, maybe they're trying to put on a brave face and say, well, we would do it to anybody, and then use the existing incident as evidence of the claim. See, well, yeah, we say we're going to do it, and we would, see, because we've done it in the past. But are we seeing that perhaps the U.S. empire is being a little bit too aggressive in its continual decline? It wanted to weaken, if not destroy, the alliance between Syria, Iraq, and Iran. That failed. In fact, they only created a worse situation for themselves inside, well, all three countries, but primarily Iraq, now with the parliament demanding that the U.S. leave. So it backfired. And now they're trying to put on a brave face, or maybe now they're concerned because of that complete failure that now they look weaker and are weaker as a result of it. So it's very interesting to look at the foreign policy strategy of the Trump administration. There's so much for Trump's vaunted support for ending the wars and ending in conflicts, etc., and putting America first. Well, he's not lying when he said put America first, but it's putting America first at the expense of everyone else. But not quite the isolationist policies that he was alluding to during his election. In fact, it's turned out that he is, in some ways, more of a war hawk than his predecessors, even if he is dangerously incompetent at doing so.
Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.